What is happening, my friends? Today we need to work and diagnose some wiring issues that we're having on the AWD Drive Type R. So I got first start knocked out a couple days ago. Yesterday was the first drive. I have 1.1 it's probably in kilometers, 1.1 kilometers on the car now. So pretty much everything from, let's say right here forward is good to go. Of course the car does still need a tune. It's not running very good at all. Easy, we'll take care of that later. But the problems that we're having, our ABS doesn't work, which that's minor. I honestly couldn't care less about ABS on this car. But our power steering doesn't work, our airbags don't work. And when I say don't work, I mean none of the modules are getting power or something along those lines. When I plug my AWD scanner into the car, it does not read anything anymore. It can't even pull up the VIN. Every module, there's no response. So I want to start diagnosing that, digging into that. I know I sounded pretty upset and pissed off about it yesterday, but after taking a little bit of a breather, it shouldn't be all that big of a deal. If I can't really figure it out with this harness, I'm not opposed to just buying a whole another complete harness and going through it again. And yeah, just starting from scratch and making sure I actually do it right if there's something severely wrong with our harness. The harness that is giving us the issues is the one that we extended. So it's the one with the fuse box in it. It now runs inside the dash, down to the ABS pump, plugs into our airbag sensors up front, has that wiring, all that good stuff. I'm hoping maybe it was a fluke with the AWD earlier. I'm gonna try again. If I can get into the systems, it'll be a whole lot easier to diagnose what is going on. So when you try to read the VIN, like you would with any car when scanning, this is what it says. It said VIN failed, enter manually, go ahead and do that. So say if we try to go into the ABS system, device unable to communicate. So I went through and scanned the whole entire car. The airbag system does indeed still work, which is cool. We do have a couple codes there. Take care of that later. Active dampener system, we're not even using that, so I don't care about that. And interestingly enough, the CAN gateway is working, no faults there. Engine PGM, I'm not using that, don't care about that. ABS we need, electric parking brake we need, EPS we need, and as you can see, just a whole lot of no responses. I'm gonna go through, first things first, start with the easy stuff, check all the fuses everywhere on the whole entire car, and hopefully that will lead us in the right direction. Well, I'm a bit ridiculous. I'm excited. I checked over the whole entire car. We had one blown fuse, and guess what? That fuse was for the ABS. It was fuse 34 in the interior fuse box, which 34 is for VSA/ABS. So I replaced that 10 amp fuse. We now have a working ABS system. Here's all the codes for the ABS. Right rear wheel speed sensor. The ABS sensor is actually out of the car. Reverse information failure, do not know what that is. A couple of CAN bus failures that are related to the factory dash, which of course we do not have. And we have power steering already confirmed. So what I thought was gonna be a massive ordeal, and I'm not gonna lie, I'll show you guys here in a second why I thought it was gonna be such a big ordeal. And it's obviously very obvious now as to why we had a blown fuse. What I thought was gonna be a very big ordeal is resolved within a matter of minutes. It's kind of nice what happens when you just relax a little bit and think of it logically. Now let me show you guys why I thought this is going to be a big ordeal, which we still have to fix this problem. I was chilling up under here checking all the fuses, and you see that right there? We were welding on that. We welded that plate in. I was not careful enough. Right above that is our wiring harness, and you can see a couple of exposed wires. So we need to fix that, but those wires becoming exposed and then grounding out shorts the circuit, which in turn pops the fuse. So cool, we now have ABS. Airbag system never was not working. Power steering's back up and running. Every system that we want on the car is working. Cool, Devin. Learn your lesson and check easy stuff first, always. Before we go drive this car again, I'm gonna do a quick alignment on it. Of course, it's way off. This wheel is straight. This wheel is cranked, towed way out. And as you guys saw in yesterday's video, when we're trying to drive straight, the steering wheel is way sideways. So I'm gonna take care of a little bit of that. I did go ahead, rebleed the brakes, rebleed the clutch. So that should be better. And then Brian is on his way back right now to go with me for the second drive to try and get it to drive just a little bit better. All right, so the car was throwing a misfire and it ended up being one of the spark plugs. Got that all sorted out, so now we're gonna go ahead and drive this thing a little bit and get her dialed in. You guys can already tell it sounds way better. It definitely was misfiring pretty bad yesterday. Now it sounds like an actual real car. Let's go rip. Holy shit, it drives. Oh yeah, we ain't got dick for brakes. Be all right.
Don't fucking kill me, dude.
So much better with power steering. Oh yeah, this is fucking sick. What the fuck, dude?
No way. Is this thing in fucking training backwards, or the shift cables run backwards?
I went from second to first.
Put it in first again.
That is first.
No, put it in first, like real first. Is that second?
How does that happen?
I don't. That's second, bro.
I know. I hear that.
Fuck.
You're the trans expert.
I didn't put this together, dude.
But how is that even possible?
I don't know. It's gotta be. It's gotta be the way that this shift box works. It's gotta be backwards. That's
here.
Dangerous, bro.
I'll fix it. We'll fucking twist this backwards.
Oh no.
So where's third then down here?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
Fuck, dude.
Dude, that's scary.
That is queer. Could it be the selector on the trans is weird?
No, I bet you it's in this box.
You
I
think?
bet you this box is opposite of the
Bro, this thing needs an alignment. She's pulling everywhere.
To be fair, you did just fucking...
Yeah. Oh, I got trans problems. So
that's sixth.
They ain't got no 6th gear on this car.
Oh, it's just a 5-speed?
Yeah. Huh.
No, it's a factory CRV training.
Bro, this is weird. Oh shit, that was second or first.
Yeah, it's already getting warm. I'm driving back.
It drives good?
I'm sure it's a lot better than it was.
I gotta think where that's third. Nice, crunchy fucking brakes. All right, guys, making some really good progress. Had that misfire, got that fixed, went and drove it around the block, and I think we're probably up to like 2 or 3 kilometers on the car now. And as you guys saw, it was quite hilarious actually when I found out, but the shifter box is set up opposite of how a factory K-Series box would be. So I actually have a shifter out right now that I'll show you guys how this works. So factory K-Series, when you push the shifter forward, it pushes the cable forward as well, because K-Series, the cable would mount up here. Type R, you push the shifter forward, and as you can see, it will pull the cable back because it attaches on the bottom. So now, first gear, second gear, third gear is fourth gear, fourth gear is third, fifth gear is reverse, and reverse is fifth gear. Everything is 180 of how it should be. This car currently has the bull boost shifter in it, so I'm thinking I should be able to modify this and get the cable to attach up top instead of on the bottom. And if that doesn't work, we're just gonna have to buy a K-Series box, put it in the car, and go from there. But if I can get this to work, that'd be the most ideal. There is a couple other little issues with the car that we do need to resolve, but one thing at a time. I'm glad the car is driving good. Power steering worked, everything seemed to work fine. Brakes are a little bit sus, so we're gonna have to dive into that later. And we may have to make a few changes with the hydraulic system with the brakes, and the cooling system as well isn't working as it should. So first things first, let's try to get the shifter figured out. So we got our first little bracket done. It's completed, tapped, installed. And if we hold the shifter cable in place down here, which of course we do still need to adjust that mount, bam, 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 and reverse. That should work. From here, I'm gonna go ahead, pull the whole shifter cage out. We need to cut the cable mount down here. I'm gonna cut that off, get it in position, do a quick little tack weld, run through and make sure everything works, and then we can fully finish this project. I thought we were gonna have to do a K-series, like a RSX style shifter box, but we should be good to go with this FK8. So I pulled the shifter box out, got the powder coat stripped off, mount is lopped off. Now we're gonna go ahead and relocate this guy. Tacked, final test before fully welding. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Alrighty, we're back in action. Brian, if you're watching this, I appreciate the idea. Let's get her welded up. I don't think I'm gonna powder coat it today. I'd rather just drive this car so we can powder coat it some other day. Caught myself being a lazy ass and not trying to complete the job, so here I am, powder coating away. What I thought was going to be a big problem ended up being a very, very easy resolution. Shifter is 100% done. The blackjack from Prisonic Powders looks fantastic, which if you guys want this exact powder, it's the best like flat black powder that I found. I'll link it down below. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, reverse. Now I think this shifter stem right here, it may be a little bit too long. We can't really move it down because the bracket that we built is in the way. And sorry I'm talking so loud, the fan's on because it's hot as hell. But if needed, I can pull that out and trim it and then put it back in. But for now, let's go ahead and get the whole entire center console back together and make sure everything works and fits like it should. I'm excited. I think I'm gonna leave that height for now, but like I said, if needed in the future, it'd be like 2 minutes to pop it out, trim it down a little bit, pull it down, and make it a little bit shorter. So from here, hypothetically speaking, we should go and test, make sure everything acts and drives right, even though I feel like it's right, there could still be something going on. But before we do that, we need to fix another problem. This thing is getting way too warm. 215, 220 on short drives, around 200 just idling. And I know what you're thinking, Devin, you only have one fan and you need another one. I don't think that's the problem because this radiator is massive. We should be good there. I think the problem is, well, let me pull it apart and I'll just show you guys what I think the problem may be. All right, so here we have the thermostat house, or the little thermostat swivel and the thermostat itself. I was told that this BB thing right here, little valve guy, when this swivel is mounted on the car, that has to be facing 12 o'clock. And it was close, it was like 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna slap her at 12. I think there was just a massive air pocket in the cooling system, and that is why we were having some high temps. So let's go ahead and do that, get the car back together, and hopefully she'll bleed out and cooperate. All right, my friends, it is a couple hours later and I cannot for some reason get this thing to idle below like a 200 Fahrenheit coolant temp. So I've tried everything, front end high, front end low. Did the thermostat mod where you apparently pop a couple holes in the thermostat and that's supposed to help. That did nothing. So I'm just gonna go drive it, of course being mindful of the coolant temps and not letting it get above like 215, 220. So we'll see. The fan's working. I know they only have one fan, but there's no way that would cause this much issues. In my opinion, I could be wrong. I might have to mod this shifter a little bit. It's kind of like driving a semi. Well, boys, another day in the books. We took care of a ton of problems today. We are much further ahead today than we were yesterday, which of course is a good thing. Coolant system still won't bleed out. I'm gonna try a vacuum bleeder tomorrow and hopefully that'll work. Now the brake system we are having weird issues with as well. And I think the reason for it is because the factory Type R master cylinder is a 1-inch. The one that is on this car is a 7/8. So I'm pretty sure the master is too small. And the problem that the car's having is the brakes just feel mushy. We've let them out like 4 or 5 times now, and yeah, they feel mushy, unlike Type R brakes should. So there's 2 options there. First up is a 98 to 01 Integra Type R master cylinder, which that is also a 1-inch, and it is shorter. It's overall the same dimensions, it looks like, as to the master cylinder we have on here. And we could also maintain the billet reservoir. Option number 2 is to try and retrofit put the OEM one back on here, and we'd have to do some sort of remote reservoir somewhere else on the car because the factory reservoir would hit the turbo kit. We should be able to resolve that issue fairly easy. The brakes do still work, but they just do not feel good. What else? Everything else seems to be working fine. Got the intercooler piping all situated, all the clamps are on. This car is pretty much ready to go, other than the coolant system and the brake pressure issue. Everything else that I care about works. Power steering, the ABS, all the windows work, the doors that work, the power mirrors work, the horn works, everything else works. Hatch does not unlock, but that should be a pretty easy fix. Go ahead and call this a wrap on the day right here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a thumbs up, drop a comment below, let me know what you guys think. I'll see you boys in the next episode. Hopefully in the next one, this thing will actually officially be on the road and ready to be turned up, making sauce. We'll see how far we get.